Shakti Seer 2.
So this morning, or afternoon, or wherever you are, I'd like to practice a little bit of something I was practicing yesterday, which is Anuttara Yoga Tantra. Anuttara Yoga Tantra. Anuttara Yoga Tantra means the highest Yoga Tantra. It's part of the esoteric Buddhist tradition from Indian esoteric Buddhism that made it into Tibet from anywhere from the 1st century, the Common Era, to 7th century. This was going on, this transmission of, around that time anyway, this transmission of these high Yoga Tantras from India to Tibet. They took on a lot of the Vedanta, a lot of the Vedic system, a lot of science and philosophy came from India and made its way into the Tantric system of Tibet. The practice, it says on the Wikipedia page, the practice of Anuttara Yoga Tantra in the Vajrayana tradition of Buddhism, that's the Tibetan Buddhism, is characterized by empowerment from a qualified guru, usually a lama, use of ritual techniques, and the practice of various meditative and subtle body yogas to effect personal transformation and to attain enlightenment through the realization of the mind stream as a meditational deity or a jidam. According to Miranda Shaw, Anuttara Yoga Tantra texts have remained at the forefront of contemplation, ritual, and interpretation throughout the Himalayan Buddhist sphere. So what we're talking about here, this is the highest path in the Himalayan esoteric Buddhist sphere. These are the highest practices. So they consist of visualizations, and it's all performed in a meditative state. Visualizations, mantras, things like that. So, without further ado, I'd like to take us all on a journey through this highest yoga tantric process, which is very expansive. This is the highest yoga tantra of the highest yoga deity, which is Chakrasambhara. Chakrasambhara is Heruka. The Sanskrit term Heruka is composed of 3 syllables, he, ru, and ka. He teaches of the emptiness of phenomena in general. Ru teaches the emptiness of phenomena of persons in particular, and together they reveal the emptiness of all phenomena. Ka refers to the union of Heruka's mind of great bliss and the emptiness of all phenomena. This union is Heruka's dharmakaya, his truth body. An I, or self, imputed on this truth body is definitive Heruka, the real nature of Buddha Heruka. This can only be seen by Buddhas. Another term for Heruka is Chakrasambhara. Chakra means wheel, and in this context refers to the wheel of all phenomena. Whenever I hear this, the only thing it reminds me of is a torus field. If you know anything about some of the new discoveries that are in the New Age about hyperdimensional physics, there's this, it's all orienting around vortexes, or this torus geometry. And in the East, when they talk about a chakra, it's the same thing as a wheel. The entirety of existence is spinning, whirling, right? An atom is whirling. The earth is twirling, the sun is twirling, the solar system is twirling around, the galaxy, right, spiraling. Everything is spiraling. So the best thing to call it is a wheel, because of the geometry of the torus field, which everything is. It takes on this spinning wheel-like essence. So chakra sambhara, sambhara means the supreme bliss, which is called spontaneous great bliss. Together, chakra and sambhara reveal that by practicing Heruka Tantra, we gain a profound realization that experiences all phenomena as one nature with our minds of great bliss. This realization directly removes the subtle dualistic appearances from our mind, and due to this we become quickly definitive Heruka. All the various features of Heruka's body are merely manifestations of his omniscient wisdom and do not exist outside of his mind. However, for faithful practitioners, visualizing this wrathful aspect of Heruka is a powerful method for swiftly receiving his blessings and protection. It is for this reason, as well as to display in a visible manner how to progress along the entire path of Sutra and Tantra, that Buddha Vajradhara emanated as the wrathful deity Heruka. Buddha Vajradhara, Buddha Shakyamuni, and Buddha Heruka are all the same person, differing only in aspect. When Buddha turned the wheel of Dharma of Sutra, he appeared in the form of an ordained person. That's Buddha Shakyamuni. When he turned the wheel of Tantra, in general, he appeared in the form of Vajradhara. And when he turned the wheel of Heruka Tantra in particular, he appeared in the form of Heruka. Heruka is Buddha's mind of compassion manifested as form. Only Buddhas have the ability to display their minds as form. We sentient beings are unable to do this because our mind and body are of different natures. But a Buddha's mind and body are the same nature. So wherever their mind goes, their body goes also. We always perceive a gap between our mind and its object. This is a mistaken perception, or a mistaken appearance. Having completely abandoned this mistaken perception, Buddhists have the ability to display their mind as form, such as forms of living beings and inanimate objects. For this reason, it is said that the Buddha's emanations pervade the whole universe. Buddha's mind of omniscient wisdom has 37 parts, known as his 37 realizations conducive to enlightenment. These 37 realizations appear in the form of the 37 deities of Heruka's Mandala. We normally say that there are 62 deities in Heruka's Mandala, but if we count each union of father and mother as one deity, there are 37 deities. The 37 realizations conducive to enlightenment of bodhisattvas are causal paths, and the 37 realizations of Buddhas are resultant paths. The general explanations of these can be found in Ocean of Nectar. Okay, good. So now we're going to do some meditation and also read a little bit more about the nature of Heruka as we kind of practice the yoga of Heruka, the union of Heruka. Heruka Chakra Sambhara embodies, as we're going to see, let me read this. Through meditating on the goddesses of the doorways at the doors of the senses, may I reverse the winds through the doors of the senses. Through meditating on the heroes and heroines at the 24 places, may I gather the winds into the 24 channels. Through meditating on the deities of the great bliss wheel, that is Chakra Sambhara, on the petals of the Dharma wheel, may I gather the winds into the 8 channels of the cardinal and intermediate directions at my heart, and then may I gather them into my central channel at the heart. So, it's very dynamic, and through this practice, the inner and outer mandala of microcosm and macrocosm become perfectly aligned in such a way that there is a transmission of consciousness and energy and a dissolution of one another into the emptiness of union, of our inexorable connection. The deity is envisioned, and as these visualizations are going on, various yogic movements are happening within the body of energy. Like they say, the winds, the drops, and the channels are worked upon in such a way that it creates an alchemy through this, like I said, through this blending of microcosm and macrocosm. So, without further ado, let's begin the first visualization here. And just so we can realize what we're talking about, let me get you, here's a visual of what Heruka looks like. There's Heruka, Chakra Sambhara. The embodiment of Tantric perfection in such a way. Or the quick means to Tantric perfection. Okay, so this has 3 parts. Visualizing basis Heruka, visualizing Guru Heruka of the body mandala, and visualizing the other holy beings. So, relax the tension in your body. Sit in a comfortable position where you can meditate. Let your breaths become shallow as you breathe in slowly in and out, calming your mind. Now, in the space in front of us, level with our eyebrows, and at a distance from us, at about an arm's length, is a high, vast, and preciously jeweled throne. It is square in shape and adorned with jewels such as diamonds, emeralds, and lapis lazuli. Upon it are 5 smaller thrones, each one in the center raised higher than the others. Or rather, upon it are 5 smaller thrones, one in the center raised higher than the others. So visualize in front of you, at the distance of your eyes, a jeweled throne replete with diamonds, emeralds, lapis lazuli, with 5 smaller thrones, with one in the center raised higher than the others. Just do this with your imagination, envision it with your mind, and you may eventually actually see it. Let your eyelids be half closed, kind of half open, mostly closed. The throne is supported by 2 snow lions at each corner. They're like white lions. On the central throne, on a lotus and sun, treading on Bhairava and Kalaratri. Those are forms of Shiva. So standing on these forms of Shiva and Shakti is our root guru, Heruka. He has a dark blue colored body like a lapis mountain. He has 4 faces, which counterclockwise are dark blue, green, red, and yellow. He has 12 arms. His 2 principal arms embrace Vajravarahi and hold a Vajra and a bell. He has 2 hands holding an elephant skin, 2 hands holding a Damaru and Katanga, 2 hands holding an axe and skull cup of blood, 2 hands holding a curved knife and Vajra noose, and 2 hands holding a 3-pointed spear and a 4-faced head of Brahma. So he is located on the central throne. Visualize him upon the throne, on a lotus and a sun. He displays the 9 moods of a hero and wears 6 bone mudra ornaments. His crown is adorned with a half moon and a crossed vajra. He wears a long necklace of 50 human heads, the nature of wisdom, symbolizes the 50 matrikas, and a lower garment of tiger skin. He stands with his right leg outstretched in the center of a mass of blazing fire. Vajra is red in color and adorned with 5 mudra ornaments. She holds a curved knife and a skull cap and is entwined in embrace with Heruka. This visualization of Heruka is called Basis Guru Heruka because the gross and subtle parts of his body are the basis for accomplishing the supporting and supported body mandala of Guru Heruka. So through this visualization, we absorb the absolute reality into ourselves and ourselves into the absolute reality. Seated in front of you is the throne with 5 smaller thrones. Diamonds, emeralds, lapis lazuli, with a lotus and a sun, 2 snow lions on either side. And you have Heruka Chakrasambhara in this full form that we see here. With all of the symbols for quick tantric enlightenment. The gross part of Basis Guru Heruka's body symbolizes the various part of Heruka's mandala. His 2 legs forming the shape of a bow symbolize the wind mandala. The triangle at his secret place, that is the base of the spine, symbolizes the fire mandala. His round belly symbolizes the water mandala. His square-shaped chest symbolizes the earth mandala. His spine symbolizes Mount Meru. The 32 channels at his crown symbolize the lotus. And the trunk of his body, the upper and lower parts of which are equal in size, symbolize the celestial mansion. In the center of Basis Guru Heruka's body, inside of his heart chakra, his actual white and red indestructible drop appears as Heruka and Vajravarahi Both Father Heruka and Mother Vajravarahi have the same aspect as basis Guru Heruka, Father and Mother. So within the body of Heruka contains the essence of creation, the essence of reality. With his legs forming wind mandalas, or the wind mandala, his secret place triangle forming the fire mandala, his round belly symbolizing the water mandala, his square-shaped chest symbolizing the earth mandala, his spine symbolizing Mount Meru, the 32 channels at his crown symbolize the lotus, and the trunk of his body, the upper and lower parts of which are equal in size, symbolize the celestial mansion. In the center of his body, inside the heart chakra, his actual white and red indestructible drop appears as Heruka and Vajravarahi. We visualize as follows: the 4-channel petals in basis Heruka's heart. The 4-channel petals in basis Heruka's heart, which are the paths for the winds of the 4 elements, appear as the 4 yoginis. In the east is Vajradakini, who is a manifestation of Mamaki, the consort of Buddha Vairochan. In north is Vajralama, who is a manifestation of Tara, the consort of Buddha Amoghasiddhi. In the west is Kandarohi, who is a manifestation of Benzarayi, consort of Buddha Amitabha. In the south is Vajrarupini, who is a manifestation of Lochan, the consort of Buddha Ratnasambhava. So, at the 4-channel petals at the heart of Guru Heruka, on each side is 4 yoginis, which are visualize, if you've ever seen pictures of yoginis, they're kind of wild-looking dakinis or something like that. It looked like Vajra Yogini, who is sort of wild herself. Here's a picture of Vajra Yogini to give you an idea. So, we visualize these 4 yoginis at the 4 sides of Heruka's central heart chakra, 4 channels, which symbolize the 4 elements. The 24 places of basis Guru Heruka's body are 1. The hairline, 2. The crown, 3. The right ear, 4. The back of the neck, 5. The left ear, 6. The point between the eyebrows, 7. The 2 eyes, 8. The 2 shoulders, 9. The 2 armpits, 10. The 2 breasts, 11. The navel, 12. The tip of the nose, 13. The mouth, 14. The throat, 15. The heart, 16. The 2 testicles, 17. The tip of the sex organ, 18. The anus, 19. The 2 thighs, 20. The 2 calves, 21, the 8 fingers and 8 toes. 22, the tops of his feet. 23, the 2 thumbs and 2 big toes. And 24, the 2 knees. These are the nature of the 24 places of Heruka. This is important because you always hear about the 24 pittas in India. Whether it's Vaishnav in the Gopal Tapani Upanishad, they're mentioned for Krishna, that in Vrindavan there's these 24 sacred places. Likewise, for Shaivas, Shiva devotees, there's 24 sacred lingams. I believe they're called the 24 Jyotir lingams, special temples in India. And for Tibetan Buddhists, they're the 24 sacred places of the body of Guru Heruka. So we've read them. They each represent archetypal points of the Mandala. Just like the sacred pittas of Vrindavan, they are the 24 archetypal points of the mandala of our body, which has the potential for transformation into the highest truth. And here's another meaning here. The nadis, that is the channels. Nadis are channels through which prana flows. They're like subtle, like tubes in our body, like ventricles, like blood vessels, except they carry prana through our bodies. The channels of the 24 places appear as the 24 heroines, that is, the female heroes. The channels of the 24 places appear as the 24 heroines, and the drops inside of these channels appear as the 24 heroes. So if you've ever felt the Kundalini in meditation, you feel drops and they're going through channels. So now, the channels are acknowledged as manifestations of the 24 heroines, and the drops inside of the channels are manifestations of the 24 heroes. And remember that these 24 channels correspond to basis Heruka's hairline, crown, right ear, back of the neck, left ear, point between the eyebrows, 2 eyes, 2 shoulders, 2 armpits, 2 breasts, the navel, tip of the nose, the mouth, the throat, the heart, the testicles, the tip of the sex organ, the anus, the 2 thighs, 2 calves, the 8 fingers, 8 toes, and tops of the feet, the 2 thumbs and 2 big toes, and the 2 knees. Each of these we visualize as having channels. Manifestations of these channels are the physical body, really, is what they are. If you watch my documentary Shabda Brahman, this will make more sense. And then inside of these channels are the drops, which correspond to the 24 heroes. Thus, at the place of his hairline, Pralyama and hero Kantakapala, who is the same person as Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, with his consort. At the place of the crown, Zalandhara and hero Mahakankala, who is the same as Manjushri, etc. And his consort Sandakya. At the place of his right ear, Odion, our hero Kankala, who is the same as Avalokiteshvara, and his consort Prabharitya. At the place of the back of his neck, Arbhuta. Godawari is at the left ear. Let's see. At the point between the eyebrows is hero Amitabha, manifest as Rameshwari, who is the same person as Bodhisattva Maitreya, his consort. At the place of the 2 eyes, Devikoti, our hero Vajraprabha. Who's the same as Akshagarbha. The place of the 2 shoulders, our hero Vajradeha. The 16 deities of the heart wheel are called the heroes and heroines of the Vajra mind family. At the place of his armpits, Kamarup. At the place of his 2 breasts, hero Vajratila. At the place of the navel, Trishakuni, hero Mahavira. Tip of the nose is Koshala. The mouth is Kalinga. The throat is Lampaka. The heart is Kancha and Mahabhairava. two testicles are Virupaksha. 16 deities of the speech wheel are called the heroes and heroines of the Vajra family, the Vajra speech family, because they are manifestations of all Buddha's speech. So, we're going through. Previously, we said the head and the heart, the head and the eyes and the shoulders and all these things. These are called the 16 deities of the heart wheel, and then there's 16 more which correspond to the speech wheel. And then there is 16 more which are of the body wheel. So there's 16 of the heart wheel, 16 of the speech wheel, and 16 of the body wheel. At the place of the tip of the sex organ are here Mahabala. The anus is Gira Devata. The two thighs are Sharakta. The two calves is Suvanvipa. His 8 fingers and toes are Nagara, Hero Sri Heruka. The tops of the feet, Sindura. The place of the 2 thumbs, Maru, Hero Vairochan. The place of the 2 knees, Kuluta, Hero Vajrasattva, is the same as and these are the 16 deities of the body wheel. So the 24 heroes and the 24 heroines listed above are distinguished only by their aspect and function. In essence, all of these deities are a manifestation of divinative Heruka and are no different from Heruka himself. The 8 doors of the senses are the root of the tongue, the navel, the sex organ, the anus, the point between the eyebrows, the 2 ears, the 2 eyes, and the 2 nostrils. The channel at the root of the tongue of his tongue appears as Kakashe, manifestation of Bodhisattva Kauri. The channel at the navel appears as Ulakashe. The channel at the door of his sex organ appears as Shonashe. The channel at the door of his anus appears as Shukrashe. The channel at the point between his eyebrows appears as Yamatati. The channel at the 2 ears appears as Yamaduti. The channel at the 2 eyes is Yamada Grintini. The channel at the 2 nostrils is Yamantamani. These heroines only differ in their aspect and function. In essence, they are no different from Heruka himself. The 4 yoginis of the essence are the central deity Heruka, father and mother. And the central deity Heruka, father and mother, are the deities of the great bliss wheel. These, together with the 16 deities at the heart wheel, the 16 deities of the speech wheel, and the 16 deities of the body wheel, and the 8 deities of the commitment wheel, the Heruka, the heroines of the doorways, are the 62 deities of the body mandala. They all appear within basis Guru Heruka's body, which indicates that Guru Heruka is the synthesis of all the Buddhas. From the heart of Guru Heruka, light radiates to his right, where he emanates as Maitreya, seated on a throne, lotus, and moon disk. Maitreya is the aspect of the enjoyment body, adorned with ornaments and silk garments. He sits in a half Vajra posture. His body is orange, with 1 face and 2 hands at the level of his heart, in the gesture of turning the wheel of Dharma. Between the thumb and index finger of each, he holds a stem of a naga tree. Besides his right ear, the flower of 1 stem blooms and supports a golden wheel. Besides his left ear, the flower of the other stem blooms and supports a long-necked vase. In front of Maitreya on a lotus and moon disk sits Arya Asanga. His legs are crossed in such a way that his left leg extends from under his right thigh with the sole of his foot facing outwards, and his right leg crossed over his left extends several inches beyond his knee. His right hand is in the gesture of expounding the Dharma, and his left hand is in the gesture of meditative equipoise. He wears the 3 robes of an ordained person and a pundit's hat. To his left is a spherical vessel. All the lineage gurus of the vast path form a circle, starting with the Shanga and going clockwise around the central figure of Maitreya. From the heart of Guru Heruka, light radiates to his left, where he emanates as Manjushri, seated on a throne, lotus, and moon disk. Manjushri is yellow. His body is the same color as Maitreya's, so manifesting in an orange body. And he has the same posture, except that instead of holding naga trees, he holds the stems of upali flowers. The flower that blooms beside his right ear supports a wisdom sword, and the flower that blooms in his left ear supports a text of the Prajnaparamita Sutra in 8,000 lines. Ashtashika Prajnaparamita. This posture is known as Manjushri, turning the wheel of Dharma. In front of Manjushri sits Nagarjuna in the half Vajra posture, wearing the robes of an ordained person. His hands are in the gesture of expounding Dharma. He has a small crown protrusion, and arched over his head without touching it is a canopy of 7 snakes. All of the lineage gurus of the profound path perform a circle, starting with Nagarjuna and going counterclockwise around the central figure of Manjushri. To the right of the lineage gurus of the vast path sit the lineage gurus of Kadam Lamripa, and to the left of the lineage gurus of the profound path sit the lineage gurus of Kadam Shungpawa. Behind these lineage gurus of the vast path sit the lineage gurus of Kadam Mangapa. Each of these Kadampa gurus is seated on a lotus and moon disk. From the heart of Guru Heruka, light radiates behind him, where he emanates as Buddha Vajradhara, who is in essence our root guru, seated on a throne, lotus, moon, and sun disk. Surrounding him are all the lineage gurus of Heruka body mandala, from Gantapa up the Kabit Trijang Dorji chain. From the heart of Guru Heruka, light radiates in front of him, where he emanates as our principal spiritual guide sitting on a throne. We visualize him or her as radiant and youthful, without any physical imperfections. His right hand is in the gesture of expounding Dharma, indicating he dispels the ignorance of his disciples. His left is in the gesture of meditative equipoise, holding a live vase, indicating that he destroys the power of death has over his disciples. These two, ignorance and death, are the greatest obstacles to our spiritual development. Ignorance prevents us from understanding Dharma, especially the instructions on superior seeing, which is the antidote to ignorance, and death destroys the very light that is the basis for practicing Dharma. Surrounding our main spiritual guide, we visualize all other spiritual guides who have taught us Dharma, pure Dharma, directly in this life. In front of these groups of gurus, we visualize the deities of highest Yoga Tantra. On the right is the assembly of Vajra Bhairava. On the left is Guhya Samaj. In the center is assembly of Heruka. In the front of these successive rows are deities of Yoga Tantra, such as assemblies of Sarvabhitri, the main deity of Yoga Tantra, deities of Performance Yoga Tantra, the assembly of Vairochan deities, deities of Akchin Tantra, such as Amitayas, Green Tara, and White Tara, Buddhas of Sutra, such as the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate aeon, and the 35 Confession Buddhas, the 8 Medicine Buddhas, Sanghas of Sutra, including Bodhisattvas such as the 8 Great Sons, Emanation Solitary Realizers such as the 12 Solitary Realizers, Emanation Hearers such as the 16 Foe Destroyers, Sanghas of Tantra such as Heroines and Heroes of the 24 Auspicious Places, and supra-mundane Dharma Protectors such as Mahakala, Dharmaraj, Dorji Shugdan, Vaishrava, and Kalin Devi. We should believe that all these holy beings are actually present before us, and that they are the manifestation of definitive Heruka. They are called the field of merit, because they are like a field from which we can harvest inner crops of merit and realization. To begin with, we should not expect to perceive the field of merit clearly or in detail. We should be satisfied with simply perceiving a general image of the whole assembly of holy beings. Through meditating on this with strong faith again and again, our faith and merit will increase, and we shall receive the blessings of the holy beings. As a result, our mind will become pure, and when our mind is very pure, we can receive a direct vision of these enlightened beings. We shall have no doubt that we too shall become a pure being. Through meditating on the goddesses of the doorways at the doors of the senses, may I reverse the winds through the doors of the senses. Through meditating on the heroes and heroines at the 24 places, may I gather the winds into the 24 channels. Through meditating on the deities of the great bliss wheel on the pedals of the Dharma wheel, may I gather the winds into the 8 channels of the cardinal and intermediate directions at my heart, and then may I gather them into my central channel at the heart. So again, don't strive or struggle to visualize everything perfectly. Just have a general image of what we're talking about. That's more than enough. The 3 places of the holy beings are marked as follows. The crown, the place of the body, is marked by a white letter. Om. The seed of the body of all Buddhas. The throat, the place of the speech, is marked by the red letter Ah, the seed of the speech of all Buddhas. And the heart, the place of mind, is marked by a blue letter Hom, the seed of the mind of all Buddhas. This indicates that each being in the field of merit is the synthesis of all Buddhas. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. So there's a white Om at the crown, a red Ah at the throat, and a blue Hum at the heart. From the letter Hum at Guru Heruka's heart, infinite rays of light radiate and invite all the Buddhas from their natural abode, the Dharmakaya, the Dharma body, each in the aspect of the assembly of the entire field of merit. When we recite Zzz, an entire assembly of wisdom beings comes above the crown of each commitment being. When we recite Hom, they dissolve into the commitment beings. When we recite Bam, they mix with the commitment beings. And when we recite Ho, they are delighted to remain with the commitment beings. So when we recite Z, an entire assembly of wisdom beings comes from the crown of each commitment being. When we recite Hom, they dissolve into the commitment beings. When we recite Bam, they mix with the commitment beings. And when we recite Ho, they are delighted to remain with the commitment beings. Tantric practitioners have a commitment to visualize the field of merit, and so the visualized field of merit is called the commitment being. The field of merit that we invite from the Buddha lands is called the wisdom being. The first is an imagined field of merit, and the second is a naturally abiding field of merit. Did that make sense? The beings which we're visualizing are the commitment beings. So when we recite Z, an assembly of wisdom beings, which are the field of merit that we invite from the Buddha land, the corresponding macrocosmic correspondence emanates from the crown of our visualized microcosmic visualization. So our visualization are the commitment beings. And when we recite Z, an entirely assembly of wisdom beings from the actual Buddha lands, who are the same as what we're visualizing, comes from the crown of each commitment being which we have visualized. Then we recite Hum, and they dissolve into the commitment beings. When we recite Bam, they mix with the commitment beings, and we recite Ho, they are delighted to remain with the commitment beings. Vajra holder, my jewel-like guru, and through whose kindness I can accomplish the state of great bliss in an instant. At your lotus feet I humbly bow. As times become ever more impure, your power and blessings ever increase, and you care for us quickly, as swiftly as thought. O Chakra Sambhara, Father and Mother, to you I prostrate. To the Gurus who abide in the 3 times, past, present, future, and the 10 directions, the 3 supreme jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and all other objects of prostration, I prostrate with faith and respect, a melodious chorus of praise, and emanated bodies as numerous as atoms in the world. We generate deep faith that sincerely wishes to attain the great bliss experienced by all the holy beings, which arises through the dissolution of the inner winds into the central channel at the heart. Then we imagine that from every pore of our body, we emanate yet another body, and from every pore of these bodies we emanate yet more bodies until our emanated bodies fill the entire world. While reciting the prayer from the sadhana, we strongly believe that all our countless bodies make prostrations to our root guru, who is inseparable from the assembly of Guru Heruka and all lineage gurus, Jidams, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma protectors. Now making offerings. The 8 outer offerings are water for drinking, water for bathing, feet, flower, incense, lights, perfume, food, and music. The purpose of making these offerings to the gurus, yidams, buddhas, and bodhisattvas is to increase our collection of merit, good fortune, and thereby create the main cause for our wishes to be fulfilled. In particular, by offering food and nectar, we shall experience freedom from the suffering of poverty and experience the enjoyment of all the buddhas. By offering bathing water and perfume, we shall be free from samsaric rebirths and attain the form body of a Buddha. By offering beautiful flowers, we shall become free from sickness, aging, and other bodily ailments, and we shall attain special attributes of the body of a Buddha. By offering incense, we create the cause to keep pure moral discipline and attain pure concentration. By offering lights, we shall become free from the inner darkness of ignorance and attain omniscient wisdom. By offering beautiful music, we create the cause never to hear unpleasant sounds, but only to hear pleasant sounds, especially the sound of Dharma, and to receive only good news. Offering music is also the cause of attaining the speech of a Buddha. Knowing these benefits, we should try to make outer offerings every day, at least mentally. To make water offerings, we imagine that all the rivers, pools, lakes, and oceans throughout the infinite worlds appear in aspect of water for drinking, water for bathing, and perfume. So envision that all of the water in all of the universe appears as water for drinking, bathing, and perfume. As we do so, we recall that they are manifestations of their emptiness, their ultimate nature, inseparable from the wisdom of uncontaminated great bliss, that their function is to cause the holy beings to experience spontaneous great bliss, and that their aspect is that of an individual offering substance. In a similar way, when we offer all the flowers, incense, lights, food, and music that exist throughout the infinite worlds, we maintain the same recognition of their nature, function, and aspect. With this special knowledge, we make the eight outer offerings. So, envision all of the flowers in the universe being offered to Guru Heruka, Father and Mother Vajravari, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, deities, all of the pure beings. We offer all of the flowers in the universe to you. We offer all of the incense in the universe to you. We offer all of the lights in the universe to you. All of the food and all of the music that's pleasurable, we offer to you. Even if you do this mentally, you acquire great merit. We offer these special offerings by concentrating on the meaning of the verses from the sadhana, beginning with all forms that exist throughout infinite realms transform into a vast assembly of Rupa Vajra goddesses, with smiling faces and beautiful bodies pervading the whole of space. I offer these to you, Guru, Father, and Mother, and to the assembly of deities. Please accept, and through the force of all the forms that exist appearing as Rupa Vajras, may I and all living beings receive unchanging great bliss and complete the supreme concentration of the union of great bliss and emptiness. Om Rupa Benza Hum Hum Bon. 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 Om Rupa Benza Hum Hum Ho. 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 So again, all of the forms in the whole universe, which are in the essence of the Rupa Tattva, the form Tattva, which is governed by the form goddess, Rupa Vajra, appear as Rupa Vajra goddesses, filling all of space. This we offer to the embodiment of all the Buddhas, Chakra and all of the retinue of deities, yidams, dharma protectors, gurus, bodhisattvas, Buddhas. Om Rupa Benza Hum Hum Ho. 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 We recall that not even the smallest atom of form exists from the side of the object, and by concentrating on this firm knowledge, we dissolve all appearances of form into emptiness, the ultimate nature of form. We recall that not even the smallest atom of form exists from the side of the object. In other words, everything is of the nature of mind, and mind is behind the object. And this mind is empty. By concentrating on this firm knowledge, we dissolve all appearances of form into the emptiness of mind. Om Rupa Benza Hum Hum Bo. 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 In the same way, we recall that sounds, smells, tastes, and all tactile objects do not exist from their own side. All sounds and smells do not exist subjectively, but in the mind they exist. From their own side, they are merely manifest expressions of an internal. They become Rupa Vajra goddesses, Shapta Vajra goddesses, etc., etc. We imagine that the ultimate nature of all forms that exist throughout infinite worlds appears in the aspect of countless Rupa Vajra goddesses, female deities white in color, holding mirrors reflecting the whole universe, who are born from the omniscient wisdom mixed completely with the ultimate nature of all forms. The whole of space is pervaded by these beautiful goddesses, and we offer them to the assembly of Guru Heruka and all the holy beings in the field of merit. Om Rupa Benza Hum Hum Bo. Om Rupa Benza Hum Hum Bo. Om Rupa Benza Hum Hum Bo. We then imagine that the ultimate nature of all sounds that exist throughout infinite worlds appears in the aspect of countless Shaptavajra goddesses, female deities, blue in color, holding flutes that spontaneously produce enchanting music, who are born from omniscient wisdom mixed completely with the ultimate nature of all sounds. The whole of space is pervaded by these beautiful goddesses, and we offer them to the assembly of Guru Heruka and other holy beings. Om Shapta Benza Hum Hum Boa. 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 We then imagine that the ultimate nature of all smells that exist throughout infinite worlds appears in the aspect of countless Gandhavajra goddesses, female deities, yellow in color, holding beautiful jeweled containers filled with special perfumes whose fragrance pervades the whole world, who are born from omniscient wisdom mixed completely with the ultimate nature of all smells. The whole of space is pervaded by these beautiful goddesses, and we offer them to the assembly of Guru Heruka and other holy beings. Om Ganda Benda Hum Bo. 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 Om Ganda Benza 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 Hum Bo. Om Gunda Benza Hum Bo. Om Gunda Benza Hum Bo. With the same understanding, we offer infinite offerings to the Rasavajra goddesses, female deities red in color, holding precious containers filled with nectar, possessing three qualities: medicine nectar that cures all disease, life nectar that overcomes death, and wisdom nectar that destroys delusions, who are born from omniscient wisdom mixed completely with the ultimate nature of all tastes. We then offer infinite offerings of these deities to Guru Heruka and the holy beings in the field of merit, red goddesses of the nature of all taste. Om Rasa Benza Hum Hum Bo. Om Rasa Benza Hum Hum Bo. Om Rasa Benza Hum Hum Bo. Who are holding in their hands three kinds of nectars. Om Rasa Benza Hum Hum Bo. Om Rasa Benza Hum Hum Bo. Om Rasa Benza Hum Hum Bo. Now, Parshabhadra goddesses, green deities holding precious garments, who are born from omniscient wisdom mixed with the ultimate nature of all tactile objects, the sense of touch. Om Parshabhadra Hum Bo. Female Parshavajra goddesses, green in color, holding all precious garments, born from omniscient wisdom mixed completely with the ultimate nature of all touch objects. I offer all these to the blissful wheel-turning chakra sambhara. Om Parshabhadra Hum Hum Bo. Om Parshabhadra Hum Hum Bo. These offerings have 5 functions. They 1. Cause us to accumulate great merit. 2. Increase our knowledge and profound view of emptiness, thereby accumulating great collection of wisdom. 3. To develop and increase great bliss. And 4. To purify ordinary appearances and conceptions. 5. To gain completion stage of the realization of isolated body. From our heart, we emanate countless Rasa Vajra goddesses. Rasa Vajra is red in color, holding containers filled with the 3 kinds of nectar. From our heart, we emanate countless of these goddesses and envision that from a huge skull cap containing the inner nectar, as vast as an ocean, they scoop up nectar with their skull caps and offer it to countless holy beings in the field of merit. Om Guru Heruka Bajra Jogini Saparivara Om Aham. 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 So, we hold the inner offering container holding out the nectar, the inner nectar. Hold this in our right hand around the level of our forehead, and we say, Om Ahum. So do this now. Take your right hand. You're holding up the cup of the inner nectar to your forehead, chanting Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Then we dip our left ring finger into the nectar and flick a drop into space, or the left ring finger into the nectar. Flick a drop into space and imagine that Guru Heruka, Father and Mother, in all field of merit experience great spontaneous bliss. So flick the nectar from the cup with your left ring finger and visualize all the field of merit beings, Heruka, Father and Mother, experiencing great spontaneous bliss. And I offer the most attractive illusory mudras A host of messengers born from places, born from mantra, and spontaneously born, with slender bodies skilled in the 64 arts of love and possessing the splendor of youthful beauty. A mudra is called a messenger because he or she fulfills our wishes by bringing great bliss. There are 3 types of messengers: outer, inner, and secret. In this context, the outer messenger is a knowledge woman. The verse from the sadhana mentions 3 types of outer messengers: those born from places, mantra, and those who are spontaneously born. The first are the dakinis from the 24 holy places of Heruka. These are the dakinis born from places. The second are the messengers with realization of the generation stage or first stages of completion. So they're aspect of dakinis which represent the stages of practice of sadhana. And the third are messengers with realization of the union of clear light and illusory body, that is either the union that needs learning or the union of no more learning. The third are messengers with the realization of the union of clear light and illusory body. We visualize countless action mudras of all of the 3 types emanating from our heart. Visualize countless action mudras of all the 3 types. That is, the first type of dakinis from the 24 holy places, the second, messengers with the realization of our sadhana practice, and the third is the embodiment of union of clear light and illusory body. This is Shambhogakaya, the rainbow body. We emanate these 3 types of messengers from our heart. And as they merge into one, they dissolve into Vajravarahi, the consort of Heruka. We imagine that through the force of this offering, our Guru generates spontaneous great bliss. From his side, our Guru has no need of this offering because he or she already abides immovably in the state of great bliss. The purpose of making this offering is to create the cause for us to generate spontaneous great bliss in the future. We should visualize all the knowledge women as youthful and extremely attractive. According to the words of the sadhana, these consorts are skilled in the 64 arts of love. The 64 arts of love as methods for inducing spontaneous bliss, are methods for inducing spontaneous great bliss. There are 8 basic arts: embracing, kissing, biting, scratching, enticing, walking, whistling, performing the actions of a man, and lying on top. Each of these can be performed in 8 different ways, making 64 arts in all. The Guhya Samaj Tantra emphasizes how important it is for Tantric practitioners to make these 4 types of offerings every day, and he places special emphasis on the secret offering as for method for generating great bliss. So the visualization of these knowledge women as being expert in the 64 arts of love and dissolving into the body of Vajra Varahi, who is embracing Guru Heruka, who is the embodiment of all the everything pure, the embodiment of all the Buddhas. And so she represents these pure wisdom beings who are in the nature of conjugal love, Sringara Rasa. So as we emanate them, we also experience their great bliss natures. And we're getting to the end here. I offer to you the supreme ultimate bodhicitta, a great exalted wisdom of spontaneous bliss, free from obstructions, inseparable from the nature of all phenomena, the sphere of freedom from elaboration, effortless and beyond words, thoughts, and expressions. Thatness is emptiness, the ultimate nature of all phenomena. Strictly speaking, we offer not emptiness, but ultimate bodhicitta, which is a mind of spontaneous great bliss mixed inseparably with emptiness. We imagine that Guru Heruka generates this mind as a result of entering into union with the mudra offered to him during the secret offering. Although our Guru already has ultimate bodhicitta, we imagine that he or she generates it anew as an auspicious cause for us to gain this realization in the future. In secret mantra, the red and white drops that flow through the channels are sometimes called bodhicittas, because they are the basis for developing actual ultimate bodhicitta, spontaneous great bliss realizing emptiness directly. Without these drops, we would have no means of gaining any completion stage realization, let alone ultimate bodhicitta. There are 7 types of special spiritual practices presented in many Tantric Sadhanas that contain the very essence of the Buddha's teaching. They are 1. Purification, 2. Accumulating merit, 3. Ultimate bodhicitta, 4. Mahayana refuge, 5. Aspiring bodhicitta, 6. Engaging bodhicitta, and 7. Dedication. Remembering that these practices are the supreme offering. These practices are the supreme offering. We should integrate them into our daily life. We can make the 7 offerings to our spiritual guide with the prayer of one of the sadhanas as following. I go for refuge to the 3 jewels and confess individually all negative actions. I rejoice in the virtues of all beings and promise to accomplish a Buddha's enlightenment. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, and to accomplish the aims of myself and others I shall generate the mind of enlightenment. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, I shall invite all sentient beings to be my guests, and engage in the pleasing supreme practices of enlightenment. May I attain Buddhahood to benefit my graters. May everyone be happy. May everyone be free from misery. May no one ever be separated from their happiness. May everyone have equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. Om Ahom. Om Ahom. Om Ahom. Parigam Partsiza Soha, Om Padam Partsiza Soha, Om Bajrapuveyaham Soha, Om Bajradhubeyaham Soha, Om Bajradiveyaham Soha, Om Bajragondeyaham Soha, Om Bajradivadeyaham Soha, Om Bajrashaptam, Om Bajrashaptaham Soha, Om Aham, Om Aham, Om Aham, Om Aham. The charnel grounds and protection circle dissolves into the celestial mansion. The celestial mansion dissolves into the deities of the commitment wheel. They dissolve into the deities of the body wheel. They dissolve into the deities of the speech wheel. They dissolve into the deities of the heart wheel. They dissolve into the four yoginis of the great bliss wheel. They dissolve into me, the principal deity, father and mother, the nature of white and red drop. Indestructible drop, I, the principal deity, father and mother, also melt into light and dissolve into the letter Hum at my heart. In nature, the emptiness of the Dharmakaya. Hum, Hum, Hum. From the state of emptiness, our world arises as Heruka's Pure Land Kedra. I and all sentient beings arise as the one blessed. I and all sentient beings arise as the blessed one Heruka, with a blue-colored body, one face, and two arms, embracing Vajra Varahi. Inside my central channel, in the center of the Dharma wheel at my heart, is a drop the size of a small pea. Its upper half is white and lower half is red, and it radiates 5 colored rays of light. At its center is a tiny hum, white with a shade of red and in the nature of Heruka. The minute three-curved nada of the hum, as fine as the tip of hair, is red at the top and reddish white at the bottom. The nature of great bliss, it is extremely bright and radiates red light and drips nectar. My mind mixes inseparably with the nada. At my heart on a moon mandala appears a white Om Ha, the nature of Vajra Sattva. At my head on a sun, yellow Namahi, the nature of Vairochan. At my crown on a sun, a red Sohahu, the nature of Pamartishvara. And on my 2 shoulders on a sun, a black Bokehi, the nature of glorious Heruka. At my 2 eyes on a sun, the orange Hum Hum Ho, the nature of Vajra Surya. And at my forehead on a sun, green Fad Hum, the nature of Paramashawa. At the principal mother's navel on a sun mandala appears a red Om Bam, the nature of Vajra Varahi. At her heart on a sun, a blue Ham Yom, the nature of Yamani. At her throat on a moon, white Hrim Mom, the nature of Mohani. At her head on a sun, yellow Hrim Hrim, the nature of Satchalani. At her crown on a sun, a green Hum Hum, the nature of Shamchani. And on her forehead a sun, smoke-colored Podwad, the nature of Chandika. Om Sumbhani Sumbha Hum Humbo, Om Grihana Grihana Hum Humbo, Om Grihana Paya Hum Humbo, Om Manayaho Bhagwan Bhyaradza Hum Humbo. Om Vajra Heruka Samaya Manupalaya Heruka Dhanopatita Dridho Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Subokayo Me Bhava. Anurakto me bhava sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sutsa me titsam shriyam guruham ho ha 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 ho bhagwan Vajra Heruka mamin munsa Heruka bhava mahasamaya sato aham bho Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma Yoga Shuddhoham Vajramu. The mundane beings return to their own places, and the assembly of deities of the in-front generation dissolve into me.